Hey everybody, welcome back to Guys Night Lab. I'm Jesus Velasquez, and I hope you've been having a great Thanksgiving season. And welcome to another edition of Thankful for Thanksgiving. That's a mouthful, but yes. Anyway, so it's day before Thanksgiving and Thanksgiving Eve or whatever. And today I'm going to be reviewing, going back to our Halloween nights horror movies. Actually, a horror movie. So today I'm going to be reviewing a movie called Thanksgiving. It actually came out this year. It's written and directed by Eli Roth, and it's actually a movie that is based off a fake trailer from 2007's Grindhouse, which was a double feature of what was it, Planet Terror and Death Proof. So Planet Terror, I think it was written by Robert Rodriguez, and then Death Proof, I think, was written by Quentin Tarantino. But in both movies, so back in I think it was the 70s, they used to have Grindhouse movies where they were kind of like exploitation films or whatever, where it was very like, not grotesque, but I guess kind of grotesque, over the top of movies where they kind of showed a lot of sexual situations and horror and killing and gore and stuff like that. So anyways, and I think in 2007, yeah, Robert Rodriguez and Quentin Tarantino and Eli Roth directed two movies. One was Planet Terror and one was Death Proof. And it was a double feature. So you paid for Grindhouse, and if you paid for a movie called Grindhouse, you watched two movies. And it was like almost like a 4-hour event. It was, I mean, maybe like 3 and change. But after the first movie, they had like a little intermission, like 10 minutes or something, and then the next movie started. But before each movie started, they had fake trailers. And so some of those fake trailers have actually been made into actual movies. Actually, Thanksgiving is one of the ones that is kind of falling behind, because the fake trailers that they had was, let's see, there was Machete. Machete was made into, that was the one with Danny Trejo, and then they had Hobo with a Shotgun was another fake one. They had one called Don't, which is hilarious. They had Werewolf Woman of the SS, whatever. Yeah, Hobo Shotgun, and then I think, and then Thanksgiving. So I mean, not in that order, but those were the trailers they had. And so this is when they've come out with the movie Hobo with Shotgun that came out like a while ago, and Machete. And so Thanksgiving is the one that hasn't been made yet, but it's been made and it came out today, and it's a Thanksgiving movie. So I am going to review that movie today. So spoiler warning, if you're going to watch the movie, I'm going to kind of, I'll try not to spoil as much, but I'm going to give just kind of some details that might spoil it a little bit. But I'll try my best not to spoil it. So just forewarning. Another thing, I mean, it's a scary movie. It's gory, it's campy, it's over the top. So there is death and killing and bad words and stuff like that. But anyway, so Thanksgiving. What I love about this movie, actually, the movie was really well for horror fans. If you're a horror fan, it was really well made, because it was just so over the top and kind of like gory and campy and funny, and it was a real, like, Eli Roth did a great job. It was a good throwback to like old slasher movies like My Bloody Valentine, or even like, in a sense, like Friday the 13th. But it has more of that kind of like My Bloody Valentine kind of feel, or sorority house, massacre, whatever, even like Black Christmas in a sense. The movie doesn't take itself too seriously. It's super over the top. The kills are gory, but they're pretty campy. So it's yeah. I mean, obviously, if you're listening to this, obviously the horror movies are from Halloween, but this is Guys Night Lab. We have horror movies that we talk about all the time. So Thanksgiving, obviously, now is no exception. So anyways, in the movie starts with people having Thanksgiving dinner, and they're just kind of talking about it. But one of the people that has it's like one of the characters, he's rich, and he owns, like, it's called Right Mart, but it's pretty much a Walmart. and they have like a Black Friday sale that's going on Thanksgiving, and which is funny because I was like, oh, why do they have this Thanksgiving sale on Thanksgiving? Why don't they just wait till Black Friday? Like going on at midnight. That was always fun. But anyways, the whole thing, the hilarity ensues when the people are in line for Black Friday and they're just like talking over each other, and they're cussing at each other and yelling at each other, and it's just pretty hilarious. The dialogue's like, it's awesome. I really liked it. But anyway, so obviously the massive crowds in Black Friday, they're stampeding everyone. People are dying in ridiculous, hilarious ways. It's just so over the top for the Black Friday because they all want a waffle iron maker. But anyway, so then a bunch of people die during the Black Friday Thanksgiving sale. So then the following year, everybody who was there is being like targeted, or everyone that was there that made that kind of caused a riot or had a situation with it are kind of targets in this killer's motive or whatever. So it's kind of like it has the whole like, who is it? So even though it's a slasher flick, like like Jason Voorhees or whatever, it does follow the more like Scream, urban legends. I know what you did last time. But like, who's the killer? And like, not everyone is suspects. Not everyone's a suspect, but everyone has a motive for the most part. But the movie throughout was great. There was the main characters. There's the main characters, and then there was like the side characters. So what I feel makes a movie great is that you always have to have like main characters that not necessarily are likable, but you're like, you could be rooting for them or you could be rooting against them, but you're rooting in a sense where like you're invested in these people in a sense. I've seen movies where I'm just like, there's a movie I saw, Assassination Nation, one of the worst movies ever, and it was horrible. But like every character in that movie was like, I could care less if they all died. Like there's no investment. Like I think I didn't walk out from that one. It was horrible. But it was just like there was no not remorse, but there's no investment. There's no redeeming factor. Maybe you could say, oh, there was. Oh, the movie, I love that movie. No, that movie sucks. But even though these people are good or bad, they're funny, or they're like they're so over the top bad that it's hilarious, or they're so over the top ridiculous that you're like, okay. But like I said, every movie or every character in the movie serves their purpose. So you have like the main A characters, like the high school kids. I think there's like six of them, and so you know who they are, you know their characters, you know their personalities. And then after the A characters, there's B characters, and they have some screen time and everything. And then there's C characters that are just kind of, they're there and they have little bits and pieces and little parts, but they serve a purpose. And what makes the movie great is every single A, B, and C character has a little limelight, and they're hilarious. Like there's a kid, or not a kid, but he's really short, and he looks like maybe he's a freshman or sophomore or junior, I don't know, but he's really short. And then there's like a point where like they're throwing a party, and he's like a bodyguard, and it's just like so ridiculous because he's so small and skinny. And that's not like a shot, like I'm not that tall either, but it looks funny. And then there's this guy who's just like, he sells guns, but he's such a rocker and everything, and he's almost like a poor man's version of Matthew McConaughey from Dazed and Confused. But there's just so many like likable characters, even if their character's not likable in a sense. But anyways, the whole movie is great. I mean, the killer has some good kills. He has some good spots. It's creative. It's very punchy. Like it gets to the point. There's time for talk and explanation, and it's not like really like the storyline is pretty good. Like it's laid out pretty well. I mean, it's the same template of any like whodunit scary movies, but it's good. The reveal could have been better, but it works, and I thought it was good enough. And obviously the movie sets up not unfinished business, but like they kind of couldn't find the body of the killer, so he's still out there. So there's there's leftovers for a sequel, if you will. But anyways, Thanksgiving is a fun movie. It's like I said, it's a fun, campy horror movie that I found very entertaining to see. So yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna review more of it in the sense of like saying all the things that happen because I'm not gonna break it down, scene by scene because I don't want to spoil it. But in a sense, the movie is really, really entertaining. If you're a horror movie fan, it's definitely for you. So, I mean, if you have a chance to see it tomorrow before Thanksgiving or on Thanksgiving, definitely a fun movie. Go with a group of friends, group of guys, whatever, and go and be entertained and have fun. Like I said, it's definitely for like not a younger crowd. And it's funny because I went there and I saw last week I saw a movie called It's a Wonderful Knife, which I'm going to make a review for that for Christmas, but that was a terrible movie. But parents brought like their kids. I'm like, what the heck are you doing? And then today for Thanksgiving, the movie Thanksgiving, it was a 10 p.m. showing, and I know kids are probably off of school, but I mean, there was a kid in there that maybe was 9 or 10. Like my son's 9. There's no way I would let him see this. And then I think there was a little girl in there that was probably the same age. Now, I know I say that with reservation because when I was young, I was watching scary movies. I mean, I probably started when I was 8, 7, 9, definitely 9. So maybe 7 or 8. I get it. But like, I'm just like, geez, like, I mean, I was like sneaking it behind my parents' back. My parents didn't take me to scary movies, That's the difference. Like, yeah, I was watching Hellraiser when I was 8 years old, but that's because I was watching it at home on Friday nights when my parents were asleep when it was Friday night, Fright Night. Double feature scary movies. My parents would never take me to a scary movie. That'd be unheard of. So I always just find that weird, when parents take their like young kids to go watch scary movies. So anyways, definitely not for 9 or 10-year-olds. There is a lot of gore, even though it's campy and stuff like that. There's a little kind of nudity, not really, you can't see a girl's butt, but other than that, a lot of swearing, a lot of, just kind of like foul mouth and talk and stuff like that. But yeah, and like I said, there's blood, there's killing, there's gore. Even though it's campy, definitely not for little kids. So, anywho, if it's your cup of tea and you love horror movies, definitely check out Thanksgiving. I mean, this one's gonna probably be on my queue every Thanksgiving now because it's actually really fun, and I can't wait to see it with my boys, or not my boys, like not my kids, like the boys, like the guys' night. Anyways, so from Guys Night Lab, happy Thanksgiving, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.